You want to do an intro? Go.
So, we're going out with the BLM today, the Bureau of Land Management, to do a cleanup.
They won't be there.
They won't be there, but we're going out to pick up a truck.
On behalf of them.
Yeah, for them.
For them.
Before the winter comes in.
For the winter.
Killing me, Smiles.
Okay, Biggie. Let's go.
Alright, so we're going up, honestly, it's probably, the crow flies, about 3 miles north of here, something like that. But we got to drive all the way around to get back up in there because we can't get past the North Baxter, I don't know, I guess you call it a mountain or hill or something. But
I don't know what I would call it.
I don't consider them mountains, but they're
a hill.
They're not as big as mountains in my opinion.
Well, what are you gauging that off of?
Like the Tetons or...
Well, you can't do that. That's not fair.
Let's see here. Let's figure out where we're going to get out of here. But from what I can see in the pictures, and I'll put them up on the video, it's a Dodge pickup that somebody abandoned out in the hills. I think the owner was out of Florida or something, and he's since responded back to the agent with BLM. So we donate some time and fuel and energy to go up and clean up the hills and do some of that stuff just to try and keep it from becoming a bigger and bigger mess. From what I gather, it's already a fairly big mess up there.
Most likely. You leave anything in that desert, you're going to get vandalism.
I think stuff's been stolen off of it. It looked like in his pictures it still had all 4 tires on it, so that's what I'm hoping for.
That's a surprise.
It didn't have, I think it was missing a fender and it's laid on its side and some of that stuff, but...
We'll know more when we get there.
Yeah, we'll know, quite a bit more when we get there, but we're just gonna cruise on out to...
You got a crazy amount of cars you got to avoid.
Yeah, it's kind of a bit of chaos. I'm too lazy to open the gate this morning, so...
Me too. That makes 2 of us.
But there's only one point, I think, that we might get a little bit sketchy. We'll see. He marked it. They do a really good job, the agent with the BLM, on letting us kind of know what we're going into before we get up in there.
Okay, you seriously never mentioned sketchy? So what sketchy? Like Tom and John Liggett sketchy? Or what?
I think there's a narrow...
What's the sketchy
There's a
level
narrow
for?
point in the road.
A big road, little road, gravel road, dirt road?
The road past the old fairgrounds that goes north of us here.
There's really nothing sketchy up there in my opinion, but I don't know, of course.
There's a spot up in there that like goes through a wash.
But up there they're
skinny.
They're also doing their Nucor right now is currently, there's a lot of traffic up there, isn't there? I mean, and they're working on the weekends too, let's be honest.
I'm not sure where Nucor's working, but looking at his pictures and looking at the Onyx Offroad app,
yeah,
it may be, I don't think it's right where Nucor's working, honestly.
Alright.
So, if you look, let's see here, where we will be.
Here, hey buckle.
There's some power lines, let's see here, that run on this mountains over here, about straight out there. And the power line road drops down off, but it's pretty, it's sketchy in a decent truck. So it'd take a rock crawler to get down it or back up it.
Oh, by the catacombs?
Just on top of the hill, yeah.
Where we took that Christmas picture of that lazy boy in the snow, and there was people were shooting at TVs and stuff?
That was probably over here.
Okay, maybe you're right.
But like, I don't know if I ever took you down the road.
Probably because it was too sketchy.
But yeah, it usually takes a spotter to get down it because it's usually really washed out with like 4 or 5, 6 foot washes and stuff through it.
Spotter? Do you have one of those?
That's you. But we're just gonna be right up on top of the mountain. I mean, roughly right over there. When we get up there and we get the truck, then we'll take some pictures back down. We should be able to see the yard too.
To be honest, it doesn't really look like mountains through this camera.
Well, and it's just not.
It looks flush, like just flat.
I think they can see it, yeah, but there's just not a lot of roads.
Right.
And that's the other big problem we got, is there's just not a lot of roads. There's a little bit of snow
in Wyoming,
up there.
we make our own roads. Isn't that the truth?
No, part of working for the BLM is we can't make our own roads.
God. Did you really have to. You're right.
We can't
I am.
serve stuff.
Yes, you're right. Call me. That's wrong. You're right. I stand corrected. You're right. All right.
So I guess we'll just check back in when we get a little more information. We got some traveling footage, so we'll check back in with you here in a bit.
Okay, so yeah, the old fairgrounds. This is actually where we
This is the city shop.
come up here and we haul our water to the yard. It's the city shop is what it's called. Really hidden out. It's very private. Really nice up here. You know, honestly, I think a lot of people, locals anyways, that like to do off-roading or just kind of take a little, I don't know, what do you call it, like a Sunday drive in the hills or whatever, they kind of like back hills. Well, it takes you on some hills and some off-roading that's not really that sketchy. I don't suggest taking a car. I mean, I'm sure it can take you on this little dirt road and get you as far as you can, and then you can let your dog get out and run around. But see, I don't know. It says no unauthorized access. That's just currently right now because
That's just nuclear.
they're what do they call that they do?
Mine shaft remediation.
Yeah, because what's the history on all of the undermining that we have in Rock Springs?
Rock Springs was a coal mining town for the steam locomotives for the UP Railroad when it first started. And they dug coal out of all these hills you see around us. So everything underneath us is undermined.
Like all of Rock Springs.
Yeah. Well, 60% of Rock Springs is undermined. Basically everything on the old side of town is. And then everything up here in the hills. Lion Coal was around here. UP Railroad was. There was a handful of different coal mines. E-Plane, Winton, Dines.
Yeah.
And so they all mined it around here, which made the ground not horribly stable, which isn't bad, but like...
Nucor stays on top of it.
Well, Nucor has a government contract to go in and fill the mine shafts with slurry, yeah, to try and stabilize the ground and do some of that stuff. So they've been working up here a bunch. That's why this road's so good. Usually it's, I don't know, kind of an okay 2-track road, but at this, they've done a lot to run their cement trucks and all their stuff on it. I used to ride motorcycles up here and go off-road, and a lot of people go run their dogs and shit and everything else. So
Dog runner.
yeah, that's it. Pretty much everybody does. But it's
I would say his Jeep right there was pretty geared up to do a little steep hill, and
it was pretty.
I mean it's no Moab, that's for goddamn sure.
Yeah, it's not really serious off-roading around here, but
To get you out.
Yeah,
we met most of our neighbors out here during COVID.
yeah. Well, it's close to town. I mean, we're not even a mile from town here, and we've got pretty good recreation areas to go play around. There's really not much rules, other than be a good steward to the community and the nature.
Yes.
And that's what we're doing today. Is we're going to go up and pick up a truck that somebody dumped off in the hills up here. So it's fairly common up in here. I don't know why people dump stuff. People, they pay money for scrap cars.
It's safe to say people just dump their cars, campers mostly, I think, because
you get them out here shooting, and they want to shoot stuff like there's an old washing machine and
yeah, we like to shoot.
different stuff. But like when you pack it in, you need to pack it out. And
Yeah, that's good.
some people have that mentality that it's somebody else's problem. It's actually pretty clean up here compared to the times I saw it 20 years ago.
driving the maze. We'll come back. let's go check out this Dodge pickup. Obviously white in color. I really feel like doing one of them vice script garage interpretations that he does. My favorite is Radulator. Sparkulators, of course, that's pretty cool. I don't know, we'll just get on it and see what comes to mind, because that's what happens, at least in my mind. I just start making stuff up. It's really hard YouTubing because I'm a cusser, and so I just really feel like I'm being held back in my communication skills and expressive ways. But, you know, so be it, I guess. I'll practice, but that'll be a hard one. Yep, that'll be a hard one. Alright. Dang it, look at this. Yeah, talk about tires and wheels. Oh, hey. Let's see. Yeah, good enough. Well, I don't know how long that one will last on the trip, but it does have 4 tires. That's impressive.
We'll get it flopped down onto his tires.
Do we have gloves to clean this mess up?
I got a pair of gloves in my coat for sure.
Because we're not going to walk away without cleaning this shit up.
And I think what I'm going to do is pull it up the hill and then I'll back down with a little straighter so that I'll be able to get all this stuff.
Yeah, it's a good thing it's got a bed. It probably doesn't have a tailgate, but whatever. I don't know. Hopefully we have bags, trash bags. Probably do. No tailgate. Tonneau cover? Hell yeah. There's a spare of something. Not for this son of a bitch. But it is pretty cool because it's blue. It's got some pretty cool patina. Might help with when I weld drags together, and hopefully we can finish the rim fence around the rest of the yard. I'm pretty excited about that. Yep. That's so sad. Of course they removed the plates, but then again, the plates could be under this garbage. God, that's so irritating. Because this is probably somebody after the owner. You know, like, they're all the responsible. Like, all of them. You know, trash people. Self and what? Well, I'll be watching my toes up here in the snow. Alright. Bring it down on all 4s. See how this goes. Got a transmission. Front end, rear end. That's interesting. It's just a little guy. Oh, nice. It's like a work truck, probably. Guess we'll get more into that. Oh, well, yeah, there's like a hard hat and rubber boots. Probably a contractor. Painter or something.
All right, here's a footage of the ravine where it was. There's still some small garbage down in there, but they're going to come up with a pickup and clean it up. We grabbed the big stuff out of there because, well, it's hard to keep all that small garbage in the back of the truck, especially on the miles of dirt road we got to get this thing back out of the hills. It does got some flat tires and that sort of stuff, but it's not going to really affect it. I'm not going to worry about hurting it. But yeah, we get the big part of it out of here. Beautifies the hills. If they call us on these before they get vandalized and stripped and whatever, it saves the mess for sure. But my guess is somebody filled it full of garbage and then brought it out here and wanted to have some fun tossing it down a hill.
Especially if he's avoiding them.
Yeah, especially the guy's now avoiding them. So yeah, it looks a little better down there. There's still, like I said, a little bit of garbage down there, but the BLM's going to come up and pick it up. So it makes it a lot more beautiful. We try not to have these things laying around up in the hills, and we try and prosecute anybody that leaves this stuff out here, because I mean, it takes time and effort and our Sunday to come out and clean this up. So we're gonna try and get this tied down, keep it in there. I gotta watch for stuff falling out the whole way back. Probably wasn't too bad of a little truck when it first started on its way out here. Of course, everything gets shot up or stripped out, or they pulled the transfer case out of it. The motor's hanging by the motor mounts in there. What's up? Yeah, stole the cat. But it looks a lot more beautiful up in here at least. So we're gonna get this, figure out how to tie this down real quick and get back on the road. You got anything to say, Mama?
Keeping it beautiful.
Action shots, right? But it's still living though. Yeah, we'll find a better spot to put it. we brought this truck all the way back here to a little bit of a staging area so that we can bring the rollback tow truck in and load it up. So at this point now we're gonna head back out to the yard, grab the rollback, come back in and grab the truck.
Staging area.
We did run into a guy that...
Kirk and Bean.
Yeah, Kirk and Bean
Bean the dog.
Bean the dog, like Coffee Bean, I guess. Just chocolate lab, so.
He was aware of this truck
Yeah, he
being
did.
out there from riding.
He said the thing had been out there for years or something.
Yeah.
But he's aware of other trucks out there in the hills, so he's gonna send us some messages and let us know where other stuff is, so that then we can work on getting it cleaned up without the big messes that happens when they're left for a long time.
Huh. Left for a long time. Okay, we'll be back with the rollback.
Yep.
Yep, still there.
Nobody stole it.
Nobody stole it. Not today. Just a rollback.